Hey, what's going on? Back with another one. Let's talk about the case of Tyre Nichols and things like that. I want to come on here tonight on Wednesday. And like I said, I've been doing some research about the Nichols case. And yes, these dudes it seems like it's nothing happened to them yet, whatever. But to come to find out, I found some more research and people saying that he was killed over a dispute over a woman that one of the cops had a woman that was, I don't know if he was going with or broken up with, sent him a picture, and that was the reason why they executed him. And you never do that. You never do that. And shouts out to Asnick there. He said that never do that. Not to a cop. Not to a cop. And then if he's a black cop, don't even do it at all. They take that risk, and that goes for all niggas, man. They are very territorial and jealous. And yes, the woman said they're very territorial. Yeah, most men are territorial. They're very territorial. They try to say most men are not. No, they territorial. You die over this shit. That's why you don't argue over a woman. It's stupid. I don't do it at all. People die over that shit, and that's a fact. And I agree with that. I made that mistake when I was dating this girl in Atlanta years ago, and I survived though because I was going to end old boy too, but she was playing both of us, and then I had to cut her loose a couple months later, and she was already broken and everything. But that's my experience. So I lived through that. I know what that's like. Bad experience, and I survived that. Now I can't believe I'm still here at this age, and I'm fortunate. I'm very fortunate. Very fortunate. Let's see. Let me get the screen share for y'all. So it's pretty much like, let's see about the Memphis. I'm going to big up the screen for a minute. Hold on. I'm gonna give y'all something to work with. Give y'all something to work with. It says the commercial appeal.com. That's why I got the commercial appeal. It says, and that's this the men, the officers, former officers killing Tyre Nichols. But that's we understand that. But they wasn't gonna charge, they said suspension, whatever. I'm gonna read it. Four of the four former Memphis police officers indicted for their role in the death of Tyre Nichols were suspended or received written written reprimand during their tenure with the department with only one charge. They said only one charge officer avoiding internal discipline during his tenure. That's what it seems like. They ain't gonna do nothing. It's I know it's sad, but that's amongst us. They ain't gonna do nothing. In personal files that obtained through publics and public records and requests of the commercial appeal, four officers were either reprimanded or suspended for their failure to report when they use physicality and failing to report the alleged domestic violence or form. They said alleged domestic violence or for damages sustained to their squad cruisers. They didn't go back and report. Typical, right? The four former officers indicted who have either a reprimand or suspension were Demetrius Haley, Desmond Miles, Desmond Miles Jr., Justin Smith, and Emmett Martin III. Tadarius Bean, who was also fired and indicted, did not have any reprimands or suspension in the records viewed by the commercial appeal. They said the reviews of the records have found in the officers of the little to no consequence as they made uh, forceful arrests with no documentation endowed and recklessly to the scenes, but to at the least the two cases officers praised their actions and described by the MPD of colleagues as one of the events for a good employee. It is unclear if the department required records to prove those assertions. But one summary uh, from a hearing about the domestic violence is called and call it went the undocumented, but a credit to the police officers under review for being I say being a top producer. But Haley was given and written and reprimand, and he November 2021 after he failed to file a response to the resistance form. But in February in 2021, a woman complained after he grabbed a complained by the arm, and then turned her around to be handcuffed as resist arrest. But the statement charges said Memphis police officers are required to complete a response to resistance from when any part of the officer's body is used and compelled. They say any use of compelled compliance according to the Department policies and procedures. But Officer Haley advised that he understood the policies and he had simply mistakes case as this amount of force necessary to acquire a blue team entry, but the hearing and summary road. So yeah, they so-called protests that don't mean nothing. But during the hearing, Memphis Police Lieutenant William Acraze and said Haley was a hardworking officer who routinely made good decisions, but that he was sure that this was a limited event. And a few months later, Haley was driving his cruiser, speeding in emergency mode, but meaning the lights and siren were on. But the lost control of the car, he made a turn, but he hit the curve and stop sign. Yeah, that's a little weak protest. That ain't gonna solve nothing. They try to make it this into a George Floyd, but that ain't gonna happen. Haley said, "Oh shit! Oh my god! I must have hit something. I must have hit something. Okay, I must have hit something by accident. I must have hit something by accident. Uh, let me go for a minute. Yeah, that bullshit out of here." Okay. Haley said he was responding to the another officer's call for help, but the other officer, but said he had a suspect in gunpoint. But this internal charge was dismissed after the hearing within the hearing of officers citing minimal damage to the car. Miles Jr. was also given a written and reprimand for not filing a response to resist form after in the March 2019 arrest in the statement of the charges, but Miles Jr. was accused of taking a woman police, but were trying to arrest the grounds of the assist in handcuffing her. He did. He did not file the form after the arrest. Interesting. Officers Mills stated by the familiar with the completing with the request of the resistance and documented in the blue team, but he did not realize the implied to his actions. In this, he calls the hearing a summary read. Miles Jr. was reprimanded in a hearing for a rough and careless handling and of an equipment of after his personal digital assistance was dropped and run over by another vehicle. But Martin III was suspended for 3 days without pay for not checking the back seat of the cruiser and leaving a shift and silver revolver was found in his back seat. But he was later suspended for a day without pay. But after he didn't take the report after responding to the alleged domestic violence called September 27, 2020. That was during the pandemic, by the way. Officers are required to take report in the domestic violence calls, and per Memphis Police Department but policies state the law. But in the hearing, Officer James Scamez spoke on Martin's the third's behalf. But Scamez advised the officers Martin was one of the ship's top producers, but that an hearing summary said. But Smith received two-day suspension 2021 after another vehicle, but causing it to spin out but a hit to the third vehicle, according to their statement of charges. But Smith was driving an unmarked cruiser that was not in an emergency, and then when he hit back at and for the F-151, but that was a vehicle that spun and then the driver's in the side of the Chevrolet Malibu. Yeah, so these are the suspects, and they think they're gonna do something, whatever. But they're getting like lighter sentences or whatever. This is not as bad as the George Floyd. I mean, it's bad for us as a so-called community. I'm just looking at it like niggas is gonna be niggas, but it is what it is. But it's sad. I'm not really tripping because if that was any other race of cop, we would be rioting like Nathaniel said he's right. They'd be acting crazy and stupid. But when it's a black person, this is very common where I'm from too, and in Georgia as well. It's like that in the South. A black cop is the worst. He's worse everywhere, not just the South, but everywhere. And the reason I say that, that's basically true. And I'm not dissing nobody that's a law enforcement. I understand, but what I understand is why is this a problem? The image is fucked up. That's what matters. And self sabotage hurts us more than anything else. That's how Esau gets us every time. See, now if you support the sports system, they don't get paid as much. That's what it is. Them guys is not getting paid. I don't know what made them become police officers. They was not getting paid, and that's a fact. You can listen to KRS One song about the police. They don't get paid. Don't get paid at all. I don't want to go too in depth. I know what caused the death of Tyre, and I know why the officers did what they did. I ain't got too much. They try to compare it to George Floyd and Rodney King. I just don't see it because this is self hatred amongst us. Now, Whitlock's point, he's talking about statistics. Do I agree with everything Jason Whitlock said? No. He's a C word. He's a coon. But when you got guys like him existing like that, it becomes a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta understand something here. When a guy exists like that, he's pretty much saying that that's what he thinks of all of us. And then when he mentioned the single mother statistic, that's across the board, not just the black man or whatever. Then you got the CDC say, yeah, we're in the kids' lives. That's true. Y'all can say that. That's true. That's very true. That's why they paint that narrative. And Jason Whitlock don't understand. It goes against their narrative. But the single parenting issue is a problem as well. So it's self-inflict wounds that we see, and it's all prophecy why we're struggling as a people. And not everybody's turning to Yah like accordingly to the most high Yah power. And typically you see cases like these, this is going to continue. Like I said this before, I said this again. These cases is going to continue. And I'm just gonna pick up the screen just a minute and see what we're gonna talk about. Because this ain't gonna be long. Because this is like you hear this tonight, and then views contradict the initial police report and the arrest, and that's what they say contradictory. And then you got New York Times talking about it. I'm not gonna play it on this. I'm just gonna y'all can look for yourself. I gotta see the video and to see what I think of it. To me, I don't think it's an issue. I think it's a self hate, and the way they had him down on the ground like that, I don't know why that guy didn't stop. But they show you. That's a little protest. He has a little protest, and I respect that. The rest in peace to that man. It's sad, but he didn't have to go out like that. Especially, but normally they said black cops bro too. This is police. Nah, it don't work that way. It ain't the same. If he was a white cop, y'all did something. Everybody would have been involved. Race would have been on the mind. But see, they show him his picture. Where is Black Lives Matter? They don't care about black men. They care about the alphabet trans community. But we ain't gonna get into that. We ain't gonna get into that. See? That's a whole article. And they show you they act like they didn't give a fuck. Them niggas didn't act like they didn't give a fuck. They act like they didn't give a fuck. It's pretty much the same, but I don't understand why people just get caught up like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm gonna take this off the screen. But yeah, that's all I got on him. But the Tyre Nichols, man, rest in peace to the young man or whatever. He was young. Sad he had to go out like that, but he did some foul shit sending something to a woman. I don't know if that's true or not. Now I've heard people say that in the comment section and other byways and highways. And sometimes if he did that shit, he get what he get, but it's sad, but only we'll see in judgment if we raise him back up and then whatever. It's just it's sad. It's sad, but I would never do that. And that's what got him killed. What got him killed was you mess with another man's woman, especially a black man's, and that's a no-no. And yes, they're very territorial. I'm gonna speak on it on a vlog stream, probably coming by. I'll say be on the lookout for this week because this is Black History Month, so-called Black History Month, and I'm officially back. I'll do a vlog stream this week, so be on the lookout for 2 days. It may be tomorrow or Friday or whatever. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm officially back. I'm gonna say and tell you what I'm gonna talk about the next week. Yes, Thursday Thrill is posted. Be on the lookout for it on the 9th. I'll be officially back. Yes, I'll talk about some topics, see what's going on, and we'll get it together. And I'll react to my audience as always. But Sunday Madness, yeah, we're gonna talk about this Super Bowl and what I thought about the playoffs. That's pretty much it. But that's what I'm gonna look at in so many words. You know what I mean? And that's how I'm gonna start looking at it from that angle. You know what I mean? But you got people on here just talking just to be talking, that this case is gonna be nah, they to me they got reprimanded and suspended. They ain't doing no time. Opposite, they doing time. No, they ain't doing time. They're getting reprimanded and suspended. That's what I've read from that report. So it's pretty much you see this all the time, and then you're like, okay. But yeah, this will be a recording. Appreciate y'all. And until next time, I'll see y'all probably tomorrow and probably this Friday. I may talk about this whole situation with this and a combination of other things, and I'll come up with a title Friday. I'll promise y'all that. I might go outside Friday. I might do something, get y'all worked up or whatever, and I'll speak my mind. But I'm officially back, doing live streams. But I will come back on Sunday Madness Thursday Thrills. But see, I'm doing them less often, as y'all can tell. But the Sunday Madness series, I'm gonna finish them up this year, so I know what to talk about in February, and especially next month in March. And I'm pretty sure what's gonna happen real soon. So with that, Most High Yah bless and power, keep our people safe, keeping the word of knowledge of Yah bless. In the name of His Holy Spirit, we're here today and keep serving Him correctly. So with that, shalom, and I'm out.